Bing bong, the Chicago Bears beat the New York Knicks by a score of 109 to 103 in Chicago to move to 12-5 on the season. What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bulls post-game reaction videos, which I'll be trying to do on most of the games this year. I know the last few games I did not have a video out, which I apologize for. I've just been busy with a lot of other stuff going on, so I probably won't have a video for every single game, but I'll try to get more videos out to you guys, covering these Bulls games. And man, I needed this after what happened earlier today, okay? Obviously, the Bears completely ripped my heart out and made me extremely mad. So I needed this Bulls win pretty freaking badly. And the Bulls, obviously, with how good they are this season, they came up clutch for me, okay? It wasn't the prettiest game, obviously. There was a lot of stuff that we did do wrong in this game. A lot of stuff that we do have to clean up moving forward. But I truly feel like even though the Bulls are not playing their best basketball right now, to find ways to win these games, like that's not something the Bulls did in the past few years, okay? Good teams find ways to close out wins against, tough opponents like the Knicks, which I know the Knicks are, 9-8 now, so they're not at the top anymore of the Eastern Conference, but they're still considered a playoff team probably this year. And to get a win against a rival like this, that is a big freaking deal, especially with how much trash that Knicks fans talk all the time about the Chicago Bulls, okay? Hating on our offseason moves, hating on us earlier this season. The rivalry is definitely getting revived now, I feel it, because both of our fan bases come at each other so often nowadays, which I love to see, man. I mean, the Knicks and Bulls used to be a big rivalry in the 90s before I was born, and I know I didn't get to see any of that, the Michael Jordan days, but I've seen the, the footage, all the documentaries, and we really used to hate each other, and I like that we're starting to hate each other again, because that's how it should be, okay? Chicago and New York, that should be a big rivalry in the NBA. But let me talk about this game, guys. How did the Chicago Bulls win this game? And really, it was a fantastic fourth quarter that won us this game, okay? The Chicago Bulls, I think they're a top 2 fourth quarter team this year in the NBA. We're phenomenal at closing out games, which is another sign of a really good basketball team, okay? Because the best teams in the NBA, they're able to turn it on in crunch time, and the Bulls consistently have shown they're capable of doing that, partly because we have so many guys that are, that are willing to take these shots in crunch time. We have Zach Lavine, obviously, we've had him for a while now, but when Zach Lavine is not hitting his shots, like, he wasn't really doing much in this game, okay? He went 7 for 20, only had 21 points, so by Zach Lavine's standards, that wasn't a great night at all, but Demar Derozen completely turned it on in his absence, okay? Demar Derozen went 10 for 20 for 31 points. He's had a bunch of 30-plus point games now this year. He was a plus 21 on the plus-minus. He shot 9 free throws, so he got to the line pretty often, nailed every single one of them. Had 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, a block as well. This guy was all over the basketball court, and especially in crunch time, man, that's where he was needed the most, because his mid-range game is so freaking elite to the point where it's literally unguardable when he's hitting all these shots, right? Like, he's hitting like heavily contested fadeaways with a guy in his face and, borderline getting fouled and still nailing all these shots, because that's what his game is, okay? That's what he was in Toronto. That's what he was in San Antonio as well. And he's bringing that to the Bulls now as well, showing the entire NBA how stupid they were to doubt how good he is, okay? Everybody hated on the DeMar DeRozan move, on us signing him. And this move, man, has won us so many games this year. So another fantastic game from DeMar. I mean, he's turning into one of my favorite players now on this Bulls team, because he's that cold star that Lavine needed badly on this team, because obviously a superstar is not going to have a great night every single night. Like, Lavine is not having great nights every single night, but when Lavine is not having great nights, DeMar DeRozan carries the load. So DeMar DeRozan definitely the biggest reason why we won this game, but I do want to talk about Coby White as well, guys, because without Coby White, we also probably don't win this game, because he hit a bunch of clutch shots in that fourth quarter, okay? A bunch of corner threes, which without them, we obviously don't win the game. And I love to see that shooting effort from Coby White, because this dude has struggled, obviously, coming back to the Bulls rotation. A lot of people are saying he should have been sent to the G League for a while to get a shot flowing and get back to the speed of the game. But Coby White shut up a lot of haters tonight, okay? Showed that he can still ball coming off the bench. He's not going to be a good ball handler. He's not going to be a facilitator, really, but he can be a fantastic shooter off the bench, which is really what this Bulls team needs him to be, okay? We don't need him to be the point guard of the future like we needed him to be last year. Okay, we have Lonzo Ball for that, but if he can just be a straight shooter, provide us with energy, provide us with points off the bench, that's going to win us a lot more games this year, right? Because so far this year, we haven't really had much bench scoring at all. Okay, we've needed a shooter off the bench, and Coby White can be that for the Chicago Bulls team. I still feel like maybe at the trade deadline we can acquire maybe another big, maybe another shooter just to add some more depth. But having Coby White playing like this, guys, that's definitely going to be helping us, okay? And he's also not on top of his game just yet, okay? When he first entered this game, he took a couple bad shots, was rushing things, but then finally settled down in the fourth quarter and provided us with exactly what we needed out of him in this game. So really happy to see the good effort out of Coby White. I feel like he was getting way too much hate over the past few games for not having played basketball in a very, very long time. So sometimes Bulls Nation is overreacting to things, but I guess that's the price of finally having a good basketball team here in Chicago again. Okay, people finally care about this team a lot, and they're obviously going to overreact to, you know, players not performing that well. So Coby White shut up a lot of haters. I think that Vuce, when he returns, he's also going to shut up a lot of haters, because a lot of people before Vuce got injured, they were undervaluing how important Vuce is to this Bulls team, okay? Both on offense and on defense, right? Because we still don't have a true center now on the roster, I feel like, right? Like, Tony Bradley is okay, but he's not a starting level center, okay? He does get some blocks sometimes. He does have a couple nice plays a game, but he's nowhere close to being a starting center in this league. Vuce is our starting big, and he is an all-star, guys. Like, last year, he was an all-star. He's a pretty damn good player, and when he actually returns to this Bulls lineup, our offense is going to be that much better if he returns to being anything close to his all-star form. So cannot wait to see Vuce back to make this team even better, but it was a fantastic performance tonight from our Chicago Bulls. We had a bunch of guys like Alex Caruso chip in with a defensive effort. Caruso fouled out, though, but that's mainly because a lot of the calls were ticky-tacky calls, I feel like, on Caruso, and he also plays pretty hard defense all the time, so he had some really nice defensive plays on Julius Randle, on other guys that he was guarding, and I think Caruso was fantastic, okay? He was, what, a plus 17 on the box score, and obviously didn't score the most, only had 7 points, but he had 4 assists, you know, 4 rebounds as well, and then obviously the defense is the best part of having him on the Bulls. So Caruso, even though he doesn't show up much on the box score, the tiny things that he does every single game, those help the Chicago Bulls win this game. So another good game from Caruso, another good game from Lonzo Ball, only had 11 points, but a lot of fantastic passes in this game to Lavine, to Derozen, to all of our shooters. So overall, man, a great win by our Chicago Bulls to score 37 points in the fourth quarter, to show up when it matters the most and find a way to win this game. That is pretty dang impressive. And the Bulls, man, they are a great basketball team this year, guys. Okay, we're 6-2 at home, 12-5 overall. Like, it's been a lot of games now, okay? It's been, you know, 15 games. Obviously, it is an 82-game season, but we're still not playing our best basketball yet. And we do have the second easiest schedule going forward, because we've pretty much faced a lot of the hard teams already, right? Like, we went on the West Coast trip. We won most of our games on that trip. And going forward, man, our schedule is actually pretty easy in comparison to the rest of the NBA. Definitely leave your comments down below what you think about this Bulls win. I know Chicago need this win pretty badly after how bad the Bears effed us over earlier this afternoon. I know the Blackhawks won tonight, though, too. They've won like 5 out of their last 6, I believe, after they fired their head coach, Jeremy Colleton, which, ahem, Chicago Bears, maybe you should try doing the same thing and we can win some games of our own, okay? So I really hope the Bears fire Matt Nagy, but that's besides the point. Awesome Bulls win, man. Leave your comments down below and have a good night, guys.